I would love to see the Stranger Things crew dropped into Camp Pineway and see what they
That
would
would be great.
react. That would
Yeah.
be so great.
Something tells me that I think that they would survive.
Fred, Billy, and Finn, congratulations on this film. Obviously, it's a huge accomplishment being a first-time director, so I hope you guys are so proud with what you've done here. Obviously, I'm a huge horror film buff, and I think this is the first time I've seen someone get killed with a guitar in a movie, which I absolutely loved. I
Thank you
thought
so
that was so sick. I also love the Ouija board sequence. I did that with my girlfriends growing up, so I'm curious if you guys did that as well, and if that was kind of an inspiration for the film.
So
This is where
yeah,
life meets
yeah,
art.
I would literally never do that. I'm so afraid of that kind of stuff, as so is my character, really. That the stuff about him wanting to sit out.
That's
I
real.
actually contemplated writing myself out of that scene,
Oh
so I
my
didn't have
God.
to be a part of it. Because I really am like I get nervous about that kind of stuff. But it is such a classic, like all my friends growing up, they all wanted to do it, and I was always like, no, like
I
I'll
think
actually
even
leave
when
the
they were
cinema.
filming the scene, he was like trying to figure out ways like maybe for this shot I can like if I'm not in it, maybe I can just be outside. Like if I'm not in it,
Like, yeah,
I'll do my lines like way off camera.
I was trying to get them to get like a fake Ouija board. I was like, mix the
I
around so
remember
it's not a
that.
real one. Or like,
So
they're like, no, we've got a real
reason,
one. I was
I
like,
think the reason also why I got so freaked out was because one of our cast mates and the amazing Matthew Finlan who played Ezra, he like in his real life is super in tune with like the supernatural, like actually has a ghost hunting show in Canada where like it's a reality show. And he was like, oh no, like, we had a Ouija board and like you guys opened up
A portal. He
a
kept saying
portal.
you open up a
yeah,
portal.
and then he
Yeah.
didn't close it. You had to do 3 times to the left to close. I was
Which
like,
by the way we
close it.
did.
I
We
was like,
did.
close
A
it.
portal.
Right, yeah, we did. We did.
I think Billy's still freaked out by the scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Even talking about it right
Yeah.
now.
He's
It's,
freaking
yeah.
out. Well, I also love the moment, Fred, where your character Jason comes in and says, "The killer's outside and the TV's on." It felt like an homage to the scene in Scream. And I'm curious, if that was on purpose and if there was any other, like, I guess what horror films kind of inspired you guys. Was that on purpose?
That was not on purpose, but I mean, I know the scene you're talking about. We wanted to sort of pay our respect to the genre as much as we could without being too like winky with references to other films. Like obviously in like the essentially in the post-Scream world, like characters can't help but be aware of horror films
Yeah.
because that's just people are aware of horror films. But we didn't want the movie to feel too aware of them in a way that it ever was like getting too meta. But yeah, I mean, I think just because there's so many, those films were so like inspirational for us, there has to be stuff that bled through that even subconsciously we weren't aware of. Just because
Sure.
like they're great scenes that obviously are impactful.
Yeah. Well, Finn, I also love the editing choices that you guys made, like, the wood chopping and then cutting to the victim and then the chopping and cutting to the car wash. Was that, always intended? And did you have those specific things that you wanted to do? Because it was definitely really well done.
Oh, thank you so much. And yeah, I think most of those edits were sort of deliberate and something that we had envisioned from even really early on in writing. Obviously you find stuff like when you're editing and um but yeah, I mean I think in the script
That was scripted, yeah.
That's
it is even
cool.
scripted, so
Because there are certain moments where you're having to come up with creative ways to not be showing the kills for various reasons throughout. And then we were like, yeah, how can we still keep it exciting and dynamic and then also sort of plant the seed that people, later in the movie, this is in the trailers, I think, like they turn on Jason and it's like this idea of sort of recontextualizing this thing that he's doing, which is nice, which is chopping wood for everybody so they can have a fire. But then at the same time, something really horrific is happening. So
Which is also that they play with like the entire movie is some of like the most earnest, like sweet acts for people in the context of like being in a slasher horror experience seem the most suspicious. So it really just
have you ever
depends how you
seen
look at it.
like Friends without the laugh track?
No.
They'll do
yes.
sometimes they'll do like sitcoms without the
Yes.
laugh track, and it's like they seem psychotic. Like,
Yeah.
it seems so. It's sort of like the reverse of that, where if
Yes.
this was in a different movie, you'd be like, "Oh, Jason," but in this movie, you're like, "Oh, Jason."
I love that. Fred's never going to have a marshmallow ever again after this film. Well, they are giving me the wrap. It was so fun to chat with the three of you.
Yes, me
And Finn,
too.
I'm obviously so excited for Stranger Things. I would love to see the Stranger Things crew dropped into Camp Pineway and see what they
That
would
would be
do back.
great.
That would
Yeah.
be so great. I think Mike and Eleven would still have a blast.
Yeah, I think something tells me that I think that they would survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
But
would
yeah,
definitely be able to hunt down the killer for sure. Well, congratulations again to the three of you, and I'm so excited for audiences to see your film Hell of a Summer. It was so fun to chat with you guys.
Thanks so
you.
much. Really
Thank
fun
you.
chatting with you as well.
Yeah. Bye.